This is part 2 of my visit to Great Dixter, and this is where it ended in the last video when I went around the nursery and some of the wildflower meadows and the cafe, etc. And this pink dangly plant that's very tall here quickly became my favourite, my star of the show. And I asked in the last video what you thought it was. I've had this Salvia Amistad in my front garden before. I had some work done in the garden and it hasn't come back since then, so I think the workman pulled it up. So I may get some of that because it is beautiful. But this pink one here, I said, what do you think it is? My third favourite. And it is another Persicaria. So, as any of you know, who watch my videos, I love my Persicaria bistorta, pink pokers, and now I have found this new Persicaria orientalis, and I have ordered some seeds, so I can't wait to show you that. Look at this beautiful hydrangea. It's just like a rhododendron, I think. It's sort of the way it's sort of hanging over this pathway, and here it is for sale in the nursery in the Great Dixter shop. It's absolutely stunning. I think I may actually get one of these for my front garden. We'll see. But I do really love it. And then these kind of, I don't know what that cow parsley kind of stuff was. Was it Dara? Or, I don't know. Big fig up the side of the barn there. Yeah. I mean, as you can see, it's just big. This is a big euphorbia. Actually, this was later on in the video. I walked around the back of this garden area, and then I go down in a minute to see a little pond. But anyway, as you can see, it's just full of flowers, which is how I want my garden to be. I do have some really, really exciting plans for the garden to maximise the flower, the growing space and the sun that the flowers will get. So I can't wait to show you that, but I thought I'll just finish part 2 of my Great Dixter video so that you can just see all these wonderful plants. Beautiful coral, salmon pink or coral, I don't know what colour you would call that, dahlias, but they, in the sunlight, they just glow. I mean, they looked beautiful. So I was looking at their cosmos. They had a lot of very successful cosmos and snapdragons, and both of which I haven't really grown very well this year. So I was a little bit jealous of that. And there it is, the house, and there's the pond. So you can see it's just a painting. It's just beautiful. So you can see I'm at the opposite end of that big hydrangea that I showed you at the beginning. Here's the pond with the lily pads and the lilies. More plots, plant theatres. I definitely love pots. I mean, I've always been a big fan of them. Really started with my house in Brighton when I had like this, actually, a stone flag kind of seating area. I love this, by the way. I actually never liked that, was it ageratum plant, until I saw it here at Great Dixter. Another one I said in my previous video. There were plants here I would normally turn my nose up at that I suddenly really loved in this garden. Marigolds being one of them. In the previous video I showed you big clumps of orange and gold marigolds, and they were just beautiful. I don't know what this one is. I think I may have bought it. No, I didn't. No, I've bought a very small spiny plant which apparently has pink bowing flowers like fishing rods, and I thought this was it, but no, this isn't it. I don't know what this is. If anybody does, let me know in the comments. And here again is that Bistorta, that big Bistorta orientalis. I absolutely love it. Towering over everything. And the Salvia amistad there, which I've had before. All the cosmos. I've had no luck with my cosmos this year. I do have big red dahlias in my garden. Love this geranium. I forget what this one's called, but I did just buy one called Patricia because Patricia is my mum's name. I actually did grow some of these straw flowers actually, but I let them dry out because I did keep them in pots and then I forgot to water them. Another plant, I have that one. I can't remember the name right now in my garden. So this is it. What is that? Dara, that one? Because it's awfully late it's not cow parsley. Is it, I mean, it looks like Ami, but it kind of looks a bit more dense. But I guess maybe that's what it is. Or is it Dara, white Dara? And here's that hydrangea again. I mean, which is just, you know, undoubtedly, utterly spectacular. So that was the walled garden with the pond. There's the Japanese anemones there. Yeah, I mean, it really was mind-blowing, I thought. I've been to a lot of gardens and this really took my breath away. And occasionally you keep seeing these billowing mists of phylacterum, which I have also bought in seed version. So I'm pretty happy about and excited about trying those. You know, I've always been a pink and purple flower lover. I do also like white. I like the way white flowers glow in the evening fading light. Look at this massive, what is this, euphorbia here? I actually really loved that. I love the chartreuse green of that late into the summer because it's normally a kind of a spring green, isn't it, that colour? So it's really nice to see it throughout the season. What was I saying before the euphorbia? Yeah, I mean, the pink flowers, pink and purple. I mean, there's no doubt these are the stunning colours that catch your eye, you know, and these reds. But I mean, these are fuchsia pink, really, rather than red. So, you know, I feel a little bit validated that I am drawn to those colours. I think it's probably quite natural to be drawn to those kinds of colours, and then you contrast them with, you know, oranges and yellows or chartreuse greens and you know, all sorts of different things. I love this one. I know I've bought seeds of this and the bees are all over it, but obviously I haven't successfully grown it yet, so I'll have to go through my seed packet because I'm pretty sure I have that plant in seed form. There's the phylacterum again above those anemones. Very nice, misty, flowery. That's back through towards the nursery that way. Again, Japanese anemones, again, another plant I haven't had much success with, but I think they really do like full sun. Where I've seen them growing locally around here, it's all full sun. And I think I had quite a semi-shaded position where I put them and they didn't thrive. Phylacterum again. Really love it. More amaranth here. Not a fan, must admit. And then possibly because it's the reds. Just not drawn to the reds so much in this border. Having said that, I'm not going to argue with the fact that it looks absolutely stunning, because it does. Here's the house. And we have another plant theatre out the front of this house. I had to just switch off because I don't like filming people who are just going about their private business. But here we are. This was just a collection of plants in pots, arranged either side of the doorway into the main entrance, pretty much like my plant theatre, slightly in better condition because I'm not a full-time gardener, wish I was. And then the ferns here, look at that, they looked really lush, like a hedge around the base of the house there. Here's a shrub I normally actually really hate, but it kind of does fit in well with this old house. And then we had, look, these succulents on the tiles even. Lots of hips now. Forget the name of this plant here. I had one in Brighton. I didn't know what this was. Is it another kind of hydrangea kind of plant? Lace cappy sort of vibe. But I don't know what it is. And these nettles, I'm not quite sure if this is a particular variety of nettle. They seemed awfully organised and manicured for nettles, but I didn't want to touch them and find out if they were real. Dill, is that dill or fennel? I always get confused between the two. Huge big verbascums. More ferns. Definitely going to put some ferns down my shady seating area, bottom of the garden, but I haven't even got to that yet. Now, this looked beautiful here. Look at this, these pinks and these purples. I absolutely love that bank of flowers. And this is what I was saying in a previous video about having the manicured topiary in contrast to the kind of wild billowing flowers. I think you need that because otherwise the eye can't make sense of what it's seeing. But if it sees these manicured structures as a counterpoint to the sort of the mass chaos of the flowers, I think then your eye can sort of make sense of what it's seeing. It makes more sense, if you know what I mean. It just looks more aesthetically pleasing. And that's why I have my topiary box and why I want to make the topiary of my yew also, because they've done a very good job of topiarying all their yew. And I can see inside the big branches and trunks work. They're still alive. So I'm definitely going to get to doing that with my yew in my garden. I didn't know what this... I didn't entirely know. I didn't follow the map rather sillily, so I didn't exactly know what these different garden rooms were. There is a map when you go through, but I was so busy just sort of being mesmerised by it all, I forgot to look at the map. So I did actually miss a lot of this garden, but I did get an annual pass, so I will be coming back. And you can see here it's sprouting at the trunk. So that's what I'm going to do with my yew. And you'll see in my previous video I was kind of having a go with some new power tools that are going to help me with that job. In fact, I actually came across, there's more of that persicaria. I'm absolutely in love with it. What happened was I stopped because I realised there was some birds still nesting in it. So I will leave it till a bit later in the season. And then there was this big bank at the, like a wide big border at the back of the house. Lots of repeating flower patterns. That does make planting much easier, especially if you're a beginner. You can just pick, maybe 5 plants and then just repeat them throughout your garden. Maybe think in terms of months. So 5 plants for May, 5 plants for June, July, August, etc. And then you've got something it's simple to manage, and you've got something flowering in each season. Now, it's easy for me to say that because I haven't done that in my garden, but that's because I'm still landscaping mine. And these garden visits really are just giving me all the ideas to when it comes to actually planting up, to do what I want to do. Because I'm in a smaller space, I do want to, there's that phylacterum again, I do want, and the Salvia Armistad. I'm not sure what these, I know, is it an astilbe? Maybe an astilbe. So I have a potato planter, which I was going to do a video on. Oh, I love this bench, by the way. Keep getting distracted second time round. Even after already seeing this garden, I'm already distracted by the beauty. But look at this handmade bench. They kind of had these, and that cute blue geranium. They had these everywhere. So simple and beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. I'm going to have a crack at building something like this myself because I just love it. What was I saying? My potato planter. So obviously a garden the size of Great Dixter, they have their own kitchen garden, which incidentally was a part of the garden that I forgot to look at. So I will take you back to that another time. But obviously in a garden my size, I don't have a separate space for a kitchen garden. I've tried dividing the garden up to fit a kitchen garden in it, but it's just not working. So I think when I re-landscape the borders again this winter, in fact, very soon, in fact, I'm going to incorporate, you'll see, I'm going to do a video on it. Look at this lovely cosmos, by the way. I'm going to incorporate some of the veg growing within the actual flower borders because I think that's just going to work better for me rather than separating it all out. Of course, with huge borders like this, you do need the big tall plants, to make a statement. And there it is again, that beautiful persicaria. I'm going to have that at the back, where the fence is. Just going to try and grow a ton of it at the back where all my fences are. I've got a new hedge going in, and then what I can do is have the orientalis in front of the hedge. And I want some everlasting perennial sunflowers as well. And then that will be my backdrop to everything else. I'll have hedge, orientalis, sunflowers, perennials, sunflowers, and then that'll be the backdrop to everything else that comes forward. And I already have clematis, but I could probably do with some clematis that flower in different times. Look at this tree. I actually felt a bit nervous standing under this tree because it's propped up by all these poles. It's so old, but it was so full of mulberries, which were all over the floor. It was just absolutely dripping with them. And literally every branch was being supported by these handmade poles. Never actually seen one this big before. It's obviously been here for a very long time. More of the hydrangea there. Quite a little baby one, that one, compared to the other one. There's the house. I'm guessing that's a Tudor house by the look and style of it.
No. Don't squeeze them because they make a terrible mess for your crumbs. Purple stain, you can get it down to anything.
Right, and then we got to a really interesting bit here. Look at these big pots of amaranth. I'm not a fan of amaranth. I wouldn't personally plant these up like this, but I did like the amaranth with the marigolds I showed you in my first video in the part 1. And here's the little tropical garden, which I'm going to get to, and you'll see the bananas growing there from that banana tree. So we'll go and have a look at that now. This was quite a small area of just tropical and tropical looking. They weren't all tropical, but tropical looking plants. It did really feel very jungly in here. And it was a really hot day, which helped. Really hot and humid. There's a closer up of the baby bananas growing. I wonder if they'll actually reach maturity, and I don't know, because the season, I guess the season in the southeast of England is probably long enough. I don't know. I suppose they keep it in a greenhouse possibly over winter, and which would obviously extend the season. I love these old barns, beautiful. Yeah, I think this sort of wattle and daub effect here, well, it's not wattle and daub, is it? It's actually the tiles straight onto the struts. How about that? But that, I've seen that in my sister's house. She has a Elizabethan period house, and these slats, they just build the house straight onto the slats. There's no insulation as such. I'm not big on tropical plants. I mean, I do like them, and I love the jungle when I go to tropical countries. I absolutely love the jungle, but I just don't know them here because I tend to focus mainly on native plants to encourage the native biodiversity, of course. But so I just don't know the names. I mean, I do think it's a beautiful looking garden. But as I say, one of the tropical plants I do actually love, and I would love to get more into, is orchids. I actually adore orchids. But these banana trees are fun, I have to say. They do look impressive. There's the amaranth again. Not a huge fan, I'm not going to lie. I suppose that I said that in my first video, there's not one thing I didn't like about this garden. I guess maybe that I'm not keen. Didn't really like that much. I've never liked it. I see them all in the flower farm. I love watching flower farm videos, but I just don't get amaranth. I just do not like it. But it's all personal choice, isn't it? That's why we all grow a huge variety of things, because we all like different things. I think we're nearly at the end now. I had to miss obviously quite a few bits out. First of all, I missed some of it out because I just didn't follow the map stupidly. And interesting to see these cacti here. But also there's the Amistad again. So I had a lot of this in my front garden. But you know, it's gone. What was I saying? Yeah, so I missed a lot out, so I will come back and do vegetables for you. I'll take you around the vegetable garden. But as I say, I had to cut a lot out because I didn't want to film people by accident. These little chestnut little gateways that they use to hold up the plants are so cute. You can buy them in their shop, and they're all made with obviously wood that's on the estate. So that's very nice. Not entirely sure whether this is in the right order, this clip here, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, loved it. And let me know what you think of these garden visits, because I'm very fortunate where I live, that I live within striking distance of a number of world famous British gardens. So let me know if you'd like me to do some more of them. Or let me know if you really don't like them, and I won't bother wasting my time, because I could do without it. I could really just go and enjoy the gardens, but I thought I'd try and share them with you in case you like them too. But if not, let me know. And anyhow, whatever, please subscribe to support the channel, and like and click the notification bell, and I'll see you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.